Hello everyone, this is Candy the 614 Stitcher, and today is Saturday, March the 1st, 2025, and this is my Flosstube episode 136. It has been since January the 11th I've filmed my last Flosstube, so I want to first say thank you, and I truly appreciate all of you that have reached out to me with the passing of my mother. She went very peacefully to her Lord and Savior, and for that I am grateful. I was right by her side, and I have been getting everything prepared. We did have her homegoing memorial service last weekend. Many of you saw that Albert was in with me. My 3 children came down to offer their support, and I'm grateful for that. And so it's, it's a different season of life, and so now I'm getting things in order, and taking it day by day. I am grateful that she is no longer in pain, and she was around for me to help with during this time. She will sorely be missed. My mother was the backbone of our family, and so now her presence is truly going to be missed. And so I do again thank you all so very much for your kindness. I've received cards and cards and gifts and all of that. I won't be showing any of that on this Flosstube. It's going to be a long Flosstube as it is, but I do truly appreciate all of your cards and your kind words during this time of illness, and then the passing of my mother. So thank you again so very much. I try to go through this as systematically as possible so that I wouldn't do a whole lot of overlapping and umming, and which umming is fine. I all the time. So but I wanted to make sure that I was making the best use of my time and your time. So the way the Flosstube is going to go, because it's actually going to be almost like a whip parade. I have been steadily stitching ever since January. The last Flosstube that I did do, we were in the midst of Bringo, and I did complete Bringo and had a blackout board for that. And that is in the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group on Facebook. If you would like to join, I participate all the time. I am not as good about posting as I used to be, but I participate every month, and you'll see that in my plans coming up for this month. So I did do that. I think I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in. There is so much, and I want to be mindful of your time and mine. I have a meetup today that I will be going to meet a fellow stitcher that lives in the area. And so I want to make sure that I have enough time to edit and post this video for everyone, because I know it's going to be a long one. So for January, I had a couple of new starts after I filmed that video, and so I am going to be showing you the new starts in the order in which I started them. So one of my starts for January after that, and I didn't write down what the date was We Won Quilting Bird, or Christmas Bird. I'm also working on the Quilting Bird, and this is by Heart and Hand. And I started it on 1/14. It was the 14th of the year of the month start, and I don't know. This fabric was a gift, so I don't know what it's on. It actually fit fit perfectly, so it, you know, I'm using it. I don't know what it is. It's just a piece that someone sent me. I've gotten some fabulous gifts from friends who know that I've been down here with just the whips that I came with, and so they've sent me pieces of fabric. So this is being stitched on, it is a 32 count, and I am using the called for DMC threads on it, and that is where I got to on the start. So this is part of his tail feathers, and then the box that goes around, and then this is his body and the start of his legs. So that was my start on January the 14th. I need to remember to take these. I always have bags of floss because I'm not very, although I've gotten better, I'm getting better at kitting things up so that I don't have just bags of floss sitting in my project bag. So I'll have to get this kitted back up again so that I can make sure not to, I'm doing that because I'm tired of always looking for floss, and then I know I have a complete set of DMC. So when I have to look for a floss, if it's not in my bag, that means it's in a project bag, and that drives me, now that's driving me nuts. I'm going to be working on getting my Annie's keepers together so that I don't have to go through all those little bags anymore. But right now, I'm also in the process of making sure that when I start a new project that I actually kit the project up fully with the floss and everything. So it's a work in progress. My life is changing and I am I am changing a lot of things in my life, and so I want to make sure that I stay on top of it and stay organized. That's the whole point of all of that. The very next project that I started was actually a gift from my friend Karen. And I started this also on the 14th, and it is Amethyst by Carolyn Manning. She completely kitted it up. The only thing that I needed to do was get fabric for it, and I had the perfect fabric. So thank you so very much, Karen. I absolutely love it. She sent needle minders and the full chart and all of the DMC. And I am stitching this on an 18 count Baron with the called for DMCs. And it goes this way. And that is where I've gotten to. I put in on We Won Christmas Bird. I put in 126 stitches for the start. And then for Amethyst, I put in 426 stitches for the start. I believe I took this with me and started it at Stitch Away, and then on the plane worked on it also some, because it's triangles, and so triangles and diamonds, and it makes it so very easy to work on. So that was my second start for the month of January. And I had one more start, and it is by the It's So Emma Fat Quarter Shop, and it is called Daisies. And I started this project on 129 on the 25th of the 29th of January, and it is being stitched on a 32 count whimsical, and I am using the called for classic color works, and that is where I did get to on this. This is a fun stitch. You'll see it again. It'll be in my March plans, but that's where I got to right there. And I am in the club for, they're called seed packets. And I get one every month. Right now I've gotten the Daisy, and I've also gotten the tulip one. And so I'll be working on those. It is a club at Fat Quarter Shop. It comes with the chart and the classic color works for the whole year. So they'll have a different flower in it. It's called Seed Packet Cross Stitch Series by It's So Emma. And they are 70 by 98. So they're a very nice size. I just, you know, I stitch on what I stitch on, and then I move to something else. And so, but it will be coming back out again. If you are new to my channel, oh, I didn't even say that. Thank you all so very much for coming back each and every time that I upload a video. I do appreciate you. And if you're new to my channel, thank you, and let me enable you with some projects or two, with several projects. So that's my seed daisy, my daisy new start. So for the month of February, you know, it was Black History Month, and I started Quiet Strength by Keslyn's, and I am so in love with this piece already. I put in 200 stitches on it. I started it actually on February the 1st. It is 143 by 198, and I am stitching it on a 46 count fiber on a whim heather, which was gifted to me. And there is my start, which is the very top of her head wrap. Heather is a purple fabric. I know it's showing blue. Well, if I pull it back some. So it is a purple fabric that I'm stitching it on, and it will fit on this 46 count. There are several DMC colors, and that's what I'm using as a DMC. So I am enjoying that, and I am hopeful that she will come out again. I need to put her in my plans for March because it is Women's Health Month. I think I have that right, Women's Health Month. Yeah. So I'm looking to put her back in my plans. I did unzip most of the project bags, but I'm like, okay, I got to zip them back up so everything stays in there. So that was for the 1st of February. And then the 14th of February, I started on, and I'll insert a picture of it here. It is Colors of the Season, and I started with the winter one. And I am stitching this on an 18 count pearl gray using the DMC fibers. And here is where I have gotten to now. I will be stitching on this until the first day of spring, and then I will move over. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to stitch on it anymore right now. This was my comfort stitch the week that my mother passed. I started this a few days after she had passed, and so I put in a lot of work. I actually put in 1,066 stitches within that 5-day period. So I need to put some more stitches in on it so that I can use it as my seasonal stitch. I will be starting the next one for the first day of spring, so I'll be doing that also. That was Seasons, Color of the Seasons, Winter. And the next one I started just on, oh, I hope I have a card in here. Nope, I don't. But I started, I can go back and tell you because my calendar is right here. I started Portraits in Red on February the 24th, and that is this. And I am using a 20 count Color in Cotton cream puff. And here is where I am on that now. So I have 182 stitches in on this project. Now, for those of you that have been around a while, you know that my new start number is 200. So I will be working on a couple of these projects that still need their 200 stitches. It just, for right now, I'm choosing to do 100 stitches when I first started, but it's as long as I get to 200 stitches. It just depends on how I am feeling when I do the new start. This project is going to be mostly, well, it's, I mean, you can see, and it's, right now it's very confetti heavy. I am actually right here. So I've put in this part, and I've come down and put in some of this and some of this, where you see the darker at. But I am right up at the very top. So a few more stitches to get in, and oh, here's my card right here. Yep, okay. Cream puff. And believe it or not, this is actually a small. It is 86 by 94. I was totally shocked when I realized that. Oh. But I have it all kitted up. I know that looks a mess, but it's not as bad as what it looks. So I'm using what I have down here. I don't have my floss drops. I don't have a lot of things, and I'll be here for a while. There's a lot to do when someone passes away, and so I have a lot to take care of still. Woo! I zipped the bag up in the bag. Okay, there we go. So I'll be here for a while. I do plan on, I am going back to Columbus to have a memorial service for her there. So we'll, I'm just playing it by ear at this point. So those were all of the projects that I have started since I saw you last. So now we're going to go into the whips. And these are in no particular order. I'm going to be marking them off as I go through this. One of the things I was working on, and I'm still working on it, my son's birthday. I have two sons. My one son's birthday is March the 6th, and the other one is June 13th. And so I'm trying to do a meal hill for them for their birthdays. I am running sorely behind on my oldest sons. Nope, this way. But I finished all of the stitching for the Zodiac Pisces. So now I just need to do the beading on that. And it is my desire to learn how to beat it up, and send it to him by his birthday so that he will get it somewhere around his birthday. So this was my Mill Hill. I have one for each one of my children. I put in 240 stitches to finish the actual stitching, and now it's time for me to put on my big girls and learn how to do beading. I am resistant, but I am willing to learn. I am resistant, but I have to learn, because I have a lot of projects that have beading in them, and I cannot not bead it. Like, beat it, beat it. So I'm going to be working on figuring beading out very quickly. I know my friends all laugh at me like, you can bead, you just need to just do it. And so that's what I'm doing. So that was Zodiac, and I actually worked on Zodiac. Well, I don't, you know, some in January, some in February, to pull it together to get it stitched. Okay, the next project that I worked on, and again, these are in no particular order. They go from January, the middle of January, all the way to yesterday, the 28th. So I worked on We Won Quilting Bird, and if I am not mistaken, yes, this is on my year of whips. So I want to get it finished this year. And if I have a picture, here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I know for sure that I put in the word quilting. I finished up the box. I started the sewing machine. I have put in a total of 126 stitches in this project since you saw it last. Feels like way more than that, but that is where it is now. I am stitching this on a 28 count even weave, and I'm using the called for DMC colors on that. Okay, the next project, I know I worked on some during Stitch Away, and I don't have the cover sheet anymore. I think it got lost actually at Stitch Away, but it is called Love and Joy, and if I have a copy of the chart front of the chart, I'll put it in here. And this is being stitched I'm sorry. Okay. This is also on my year of whips. For Bringo, I put all of my year of whips on my Bringo board. So that's why these are still showing up. Here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And here is where it is now. I did add Love and Joy. I added another 170 stitches to this project, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of that is across the top here to make that border go all the way around. And I do believe that I also put in some of this green vining down here also. This is being stitched on a 28 count light gray even weave, and I'm using the called for DMCs. It is Love and Joy by October House Fiber Arts. Yes. The next project that I worked on is letter K Fairy. This would have been in January for Bringo. And here is where it looks like it is a letter from Nora. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And here is where it is now. So I came down and put in some more of this. I know what the name of it is too. But I came down and put in some more of this. I know what the name of it is, and I can't think of what it is right now. And then I went in and worked on the K some more. I added 105 stitches to this. It is being stitched on a 28 count gray Lugana, and I am using the called for fancy floss, overdyed flosses. Okay, the next project that I worked on was in February, and it was for Whippagories. Sorry, it was for Whippagories, and the category was seasonal. So I chose Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I am stitching my winter garden on 28 count Winter Creek by Rogue Stitching. And I know for sure that I put in this, I'm stitching it over 1 on 28 count. So I put in this star here and those 2 little stars there. And maybe this one too. I can't really remember right off the top of my head, but I did put in Winter Garden. I did put in 203 stitches for the Whippagories. My minimum for Whippagories is 200 stitches, so I always try to put in at least 200 stitches on those projects. And again, that was Winter Garden by Liz Matthews. Okay. The next project is, I believe this was in January, Peabody, and I already had, that doesn't seem right. So Peabody. And if I have a picture, here's where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I'm not for sure actually what I've done other than probably some more fill-in of his body. This is on my year of whips, so I need to pull it out more. He will actually be coming out in March. For Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. So that is where I am on Peabody. some of these older projects, if it was a 20, with the exception of, there's one exception to that rule, but all of my 2021 projects, I have moved to my year of whips to get them finished. I know this was in January, and it is Christmas Cottage by Modern Folk Embroidery. And here's a picture of where it was when I last worked on it. This was a January Whippagories. And it was because of the specialty fibers. I was using New to You. I believe it was New to You. And this is the first time that I am using Belle Soie. And this is Tulip. So I have a lot more left to go. I actually would have been further along, but I found 2 huge errors. So I had to take a lot of it out and put it back in. I did put in a total of 200 stitches, 289 stitches on this project. After I pulled out all the stitches that I had put in, and then I put in 289 more. Oh. Okay. Ooh. The pen just fell on the floor. Okay. So the next project you would have seen, this also, would have been in January. It is City Sidewalks by Glendon Place. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. Again, if pictures are not popping up, it is because I couldn't find the picture. So, and here is where I am now. I added City Sidewalks. 110 stitches to this project, and that would have been this last building here. I believe this is the last building. Yes, it is also on my year of whips, so I will be working on getting this completed. I am stitching this on a 28 count frost by Bestitch Me, and I'm using the called for DMC colors. City Sidewalks. Okay. My next project I worked on for January Whip Go, and I did meet the Whip Go requirements. I am doing, you know, it's the 3rd month of the year, so I'm doing really good with my Whip Go. And it is Coffee by Rosewood Manor. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I did a lot of fill-in on that cup. I put in 233 stitches. I am using the, I'm stitching this on a 28 count Queen Anne's lace, and I'm using the called for DMCs for it. This is also on my year of whips. I might have to rethink some of my plans for March. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, is it? Okay, the next project I worked on, I actually worked on it for February. Whippagory, and it was longest since worked on. Longest not worked on. And it is, I got stuff falling everywhere. It is a Stitcher's Wish. I started this on February the 29th, 2024, and had not touched it after that. Here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where, and here is where it is now. I have 2 hanging threads. I worked on finishing up the frog's legs, his front legs, and the this is his back legs, and some more of the border. I am stitching this on a 36 count weathered stone, and I am using the called for floss. So I'm not sure how much more. I don't think that the border is too much longer, but I need to get to it so I can figure out. That's my next goal, because I have a whole, thing of fabric here. So if I could split this down the middle, I would have fabric to use for something else, because I'm using a whole quarter. So I'll be working on getting that done. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to be very much more on that border than what it is now. I just need to count it out. But this is my 29th of the month project also, so you'll be seeing it again in March for the 29th day stitching. It is my goal to have this project finished up by the next leap year. That is why I chose it. It is a frog, and a frog leaps. I put in a total of 350 stitches on that project. My next project would have been also in January, and it is Autumn Peg by Luhu Stitches. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I've put in 100 stitches. I am stitching all the leaves in here. And I will soon be, this is on my year of whips also, I will be finishing this up. I need to put her in because she could be finished. She should be finished by now. So I am just using a DMC 51 to put in all of these different shadings. DMC 51 has a lot of different variation. It's variegated, highly variegated, and so that's what I'm using to put in all the leaves and everything. So she will definitely be finished this year. Excuse me, and I would like to get her finished sooner rather than later. I am stitching Autumn Peg. It's on a 28 count. Oh, there it is. 28 count Vintage Country Mocha, and it's a 32 count, pardon me, and I'm using the called for DMC. Okay, that was Autumn Peg. Next is my full moon stitching, and she was also February's Whippagories. Category was celestial, and I used Queen of the Night by Fox and Rabbit. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I have almost the one side of the wing completed. I am stitching this on a 40 count Roxy Floss Co. Night Owl, and I'm using the called for DMCs. And I added Queen of the Night 296 stitches to this, which was just about this entire wing here. I love this piece. It is my, so I work on it on the full moon. So every month you should be seeing some progress on this whip. And that was Queen of the Nights. The next whip is Black Butterfly Sampler. I stitched a lot. I'm telling you, I stitched a lot. Black Butterfly Sampler by Shaded Stitchery. I love this piece. It is also on my year of whips. Here's a picture of where it was when you last saw it. And here is where it is now. So for sure, I know I have done some work on this project. I had it in for January and February, I believe. In February, was it on my, it was the N for cotton. So a lot of these, it is the N for cotton. I've been neglectful in telling you what I've been stitching because I stitch for prompts. And so here's where it is now. I worked on some more of this butterfly. I had a little tiny bit of it in, like up to here. So I put all of this in, and now I need to fill in this wing. I finished all 3 of these flowers down here. Since the last time you saw it, I've also finished this part over here. I've put in, I said, a total of 332 stitches. This is being stitched on a 32 count. It's one of my favorite fabrics. I can't even believe I forgot it. Aurora Borealis. And that is where it is now. So this is on my year of whips. It will be finished this year. I am also using Color and Cotton Rustic Black. And it has shades of gray and black in it to give it some dimension. The next project that I'm going to share with you is Kaleidoscope. And it is in this book here by Lori Holt. And I used Kaleidoscope it was in January. So it probably was Oh, it was my whip go for January. Yep, sure was. And I also had it on my bingo, on my bringo, because this too is on my year of whips. Yep, it is on my year of whips. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I have almost completed, I put in 449 stitches on this, and this whole section, first section, is completed, and I've started the second section. This will also be coming out again in March for Whip Go, but I'll talk about that in plans. It's being stitched on a 18 count white Aida, and I'm using the called for DMC colors on that. Sorry, I'm trying to organize things as I go along. That was Kaleidoscope. Okay. The next piece I worked on was actually yesterday to finish up my Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge goals, and it is Cardinal Wreath, and this was the C in cotton. Nope, cage bird was. Oh, this was the O. Nope. Why did I stitch on you? Oh, it was, okay, now I understand. It was one of the T's for Tiny Modernist in cotton, which was the Magazine Monthly acrostic from February. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is a picture of where it is now. And I have a lot of wasted fabric on this piece, which really ticks me off. When I started it, I was using a nerd hoop, and I put it right there. And I could have put it all the way over here and saved myself a whole bunch of fabric. But anywho, there's where it is now. I put in 274 stitches on this yesterday. I started this with my friend Suki in 2023, and it should be done now. It should have been done. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Sand Dollar by Bestitch Me, and I'm using the called for DMC with the exception of the red. I am using Cupid for the red, rather than using 2 and 3 different shades of red. I just decided to use overdyed to make it easier on myself. So I hope to be getting this, putting some work into this so that I can get it finished, because it's a small and it should be finished. Okay, now for put a bird on it. So this is this year, this is a Sal, put a bird on it, that is being hosted by EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers, and there are lots and lots of us that have joined her in this endeavor. If you would like to join along, it is not too late. It is, it's never too late to join a stitch along. You need to go to Modern Folk Embroidery and download the pattern. This shows it in color, and this was done by Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. And this is what it would look like. This is not what mine is going to look like. Here's a picture of where I was when I last shared it with you. And here is where I am now. I have added 2,102 stitches to this project since you saw it last. I've come clear across the top and down the side. And there's where I'm at. I'm stitching this on a 46 count oyster shell by Fox and Rabbit. And I am using Cottage Garden Threads BR28 LaSalle. That's what I'm using. And as you can see, it goes from dark purple to light purple back to dark purple again, and that is how I'm able to get such great variation on this project. My goal on this project is to stitch, even though she broke it all up and everything, I have a goal of putting in at least 1,000 stitches every month. And so that is what I have been doing. And I am so super excited about it. It has really, I had a huge error. And I took it all out and restarted it again. Matter of fact, let me show you. Because perseverance. So I had already put in a lot of stitches, like 400 stitches, and I had to take them out and put them right back in again. I am one that I am not good with the frogging, making it work. And so in here, I had to take out, I had all of this in here and it was wrong. I had this, it was wrong. Literally the box was wrong that I started in, but I persevered and took it out. And trust me, when I say 46 count, taking out 46 count, frogging 46 count is not fun. It was not fun at all. But I am thankful that I did. That motif looks so wonderful. So, I know a lot of people, you know, they make it work and they can fudge it. That's what the word is, fudge. They can fudge it and all of that. And there's probably plenty of times where I could fudge stuff and I just can't. My brain don't want to make it work like that. So that was, put a bird on it. This next project, I restarted it in January. So there will not be a before picture. I don't think. There might be, maybe. If there is a before picture, I'll put it in here. It is Capricorn by Nora Corbett. This is another heavily beaded project that I need to be getting my beading worked up on so I can know how to bead. And if there's a picture, it'll be here. And here is where I am now. So I literally started at the very top. This is the portion that'll have Krynic and that symbol in it, the Capricorn symbol in it. And then I came off and started doing the flowers down that part. So here, is where I'm saying I started right here and I'm coming down this way. And then I'll just continue all the way around so that I know that I have it where it'll meet up and everything. So that's where I am with that. I am stitching this on a 32 count fiber on a whim raspberry Lugana, and I am using the called for flosses with the exception, what was that? with the exception of the skin tone. I'm using Almond M&M skin complexion. I've been looking for y'all. Oh no, this is not what I've been looking for. Okay. So I'm very pleased about that. And I put in 107 stitches. So this was in January for Bringo. This next project is one of my comfort stitches. Oh, no. I don't know what made me put my cards. So, you know, these projects come in bags. And so I put my project card down inside the bag with the chart in it. Makes it kind of hard to pull out the chart. Okay, so this is Thistle. And it is a comfort stitch of mine. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I know that I've done all of these diamonds here. I finished up this whole motif here and brought it over and did this part here. I am working towards a page finish on this. It just dawned on me. I'm like, do I have enough room? Sorry. I am stitching this on a 20 count platinum. And I'm using the called for DMCs. I started this in August for Sammy J's birthday. And I am steadily working on it. It is my comfort stitch. Carolyn Manning is just mindless stitching when I don't need to be thinking about a lot. And so I am loving this. Okay, I actually added, where is it? 489 stitches to that. Only a couple of more to go. It's not as long as what I was thinking it would be. I thought maybe I was going to have a 2-hour video. Okay. The next project that I worked on, and I worked on this both in January and February, is Sunflower Fairy by Nora Corbett. Sorry for the glare. And here's a picture of where she was when I last shared her. And here is where she is now. I have finished all of the flower work around here. All of the flowers have been finished. I'm sorry, I did not put my phone on vibrate, and it is way across the room. So now I am working on, I'm stitching this on a 28 count Old West by Color and Cotton that I absolutely love. I need to figure out if I can get any more Old West. I am putting in, so all of the flowers, all of the petals and everything have been added. I am now working on her wings. In her wings, I'm using 1 strand of Chronic blending filament and 1 strand of 762. And I'm going to get her wing in, and then I'm going to start on her face and her neck. This is on my year of whips also. It will be finished this year. Oh, you can see a little bit of the shimmery. The skin conversion the skin color that I'm using is called Bloody Sunday, and it is by Almond M&M. She has an African American skin tone line, if you are interested in that. And I put in, well, I know it's on here. Maybe I already said it. Sunflower Fairy. Oh, 600. It's the very first one on the list. The very first one on the list. I put in a total of 679 stitches on that since you've seen it last. Okay, just 3 more to go. Oh, wait. Did I do that? Okay. So the next one on my list was Warrior, and Warrior had its birthday on February the 10th, February the 10th. And so I pulled Warrior out on his birthday. And here's Warrior is by Fire Wing Designs. And I started this with my friend Kevin of Akio Whips. He's already finished his, but here's where mine is. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I have put in this, since you last saw it, up this way, since you last saw it, this right here. I have added Warrior 403 stitches to this project. It is not on my year of whips, I don't think. I don't know, I can't remember. Like, I have a list, and I keep the list in the book so that I'll know. It is not on my year of whips. However, I do want to finish this year. Right now, I'm planning to go to StitchCon. And so I want this finished because Kevin and I are considering starting another dragon together when we're together at StitchCon. So I want to get Warrior finished. I am stitching Warrior on an 18 count gray, and I am using Classic Colorworks Anti-D. It's variegated blue and purple. And for the new dragon, I'm looking for a green to black to purple floss. So if any of y'all know of a floss like that, can you let a chick know? Because I would love to do that. Okay. Oh, what's right there? Okay. Warrior. So I told you I stitched 403 stitches on Warrior since you've seen it last. The next chart I did for Black History Month, and it was also on my, I used it for something. I can't remember now. I'm not doing very good with my notes, but it is Silver Sampler, and I am stitching Caged Bird. And I don't know why I stitched this. Oh, it's the C. It's the C in cotton. Caged Bird, Silver Sampler. I'm telling you, I'll get back there. I'll get there. Like, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And so here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I am stitching this on a freesia, a 36 count freesia with the called for floss. This is by Rebel Stitcher Designs. And I put in 314 stitches, which means I brought this cage down and put in these two letters here. I worked on the cage mostly. So that's where I was with that. This was another one of my Black History stitches. I have to get some more of those. Yeah, something dummy got on my bag, and now I'm like, I'm gonna sit you aside so I can clean you. And I have one more whip. Actually, I have another one too that I didn't show you. So let's show you that one now. So I have been working on putting a set number of stitches into Purple Rain. It was 250 stitches a month. And so Purple Rain is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Here's a picture of what it will look like. The artwork is by Jeanne and Wright. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And I put in, I'm not sure. Yeah. I have added 1,010 stitches since you saw this last. And I believe it is all, so that's the full view. And here, I believe that it is all on this side, coming down here. I know that I showed this at the very beginning part of January when I had like 500 stitches in it. So I've put more stitches in it since then. I am still at the crossroads of putting in the ninja stitches and doing some chunks fill-in, or, you know, some solid color stitching. So there's where I'm at. I will be putting in another 200 or 500 stitches into this in March. That is my goal for March, is to put 500 stitches in. I did not get to it. I did not put 250 stitches in it in February, so I'm going to make up for it and put 500 stitches in March. So that is Purple Rain, and that is part of my plans. And then the last, I'm just double checking my list to make sure I've gotten them all. I have, except for this one, right? Yep. So the last project I'm going to share with you is like, this is like having a whip parade. Oh my goodness. Is Christmas Sentiments by Stony Creek. This is on my year of whips to be finished. It also has lots of beads, so hence the beading. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where, this is the full picture. And here is where I worked on. I completed the tree, the very first tree. I put in some more of the snowflakes, and I have started on the bird. I am stitching this. I'm so excited about this piece. For those of you that have been around a long time, this piece is on my year of whips. I started it in August of 2021. and I'm stitching it on a 28 count Harvest Moon by Color and Cotton, and I'm using my own conversion. So what I did was I looked at the floss that they used and tried to match it back to what I had. The only difference, so I am using, instead of the Threadworks, which is the red, I am using Classic Colorworks Cupid. So that is the biggest difference. The and for the snowflakes, it was suggested that you use a Pearl Cotton number 8, and I am using Sulky instead. So that is where I'm at now. So I have 2 more trees, a few more birds, and a lot of more snowflakes to add. But I plan on getting it finished by the end of the year. I added 616 stitches to Christmas Sentiments. So I've been giving you lots of numbers on what I have been stitching. So let me give you a little bit of, I finished, and I didn't pull it over here either. I had one finish, and I don't know where I put it now. I'll share it with you. It was on Instagram also. It was a 2025 Blessing Sampler that I finished actually on January. I started on January the 1st, and I finished it on January the 30th. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I found it. So this was a Blessing Sampler, my 2025 Blessing Sampler. It's called Spontaneous Blessing Sampler. It's by the Stitchery. And I can't remember if they were on Gumroads or Etsy. But here's where it is now. I stitched this on a 28 count fabric that was gifted to me. And I used the called for DMCs. And I really enjoyed stitching on it. I don't know that I'll do another Blessing Sampler. It was a lot on top of doing Magazine Monthly and all of that. But it was a good stretch goal for me for sure. So that was my finish that I finished in January. I did not have any finishes in February. And so here are my January stats. In January, I had 6 starts, 1 finish. I worked on 20 different projects, and I stitched 12,440 stitches. No, 12,404 stitches. For the month of February, I had 3 starts, 0 finishes. I stitched on 14 projects, and I stitched 5,914 stitches. So I would say that is really, really good, especially considering everything that has been going on with me. So now I want to give you what my plans are for March. I do plan on coming back regularly, now that everything has calmed down, and I'm on the other side of my mom's illness and death. But the WIPGO numbers were called, and for my WIPGO, I put in 500 stitches on each project. And the number 9 was called. And on my board this year, I have decided to use letters. So here is my WIPGO board. I assigned each number a letter. Yes, I assigned each number a letter. And for those letters, I then choose a project to work on. So this month, for the month of March, the letter or the number 9 was called, and my number 9 is the letter K. And my K is going to be Kaleidoscope, which is you just saw. It is on my year of whips, and so I need to put 500 stitches in Kaleidoscope. The next number that was called was the number 24, and my number 24 is the letter I. And my letter I is ink circles. And I will be pulling out Garden of Zig. And here's where I was, here's where I'm at on Garden of Zig. This is being stitched on a 32 count white tee by Color and Cotton. Okay, so those are my 2 whip goes. For Whippagories, the project, so those are those 2. For Whippagories, the first category that was called was haven't been stitched on in 2025. And my haven't been stitched on in 2025 is Current Mood, which is out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine. What year was that? Spring 2024. And so this is what that looks like. I'll be working on this. And if you recall, I am stitching the rain with a different shade of purple floss for all of them. So that is where I am on Current Mood. For large, I'll be working on my January new start that I started with my group of friends, and it is called Self-Love, aka Damn I'm Beautiful. And I will try to put the chart up here, but here is where I am on that right now. And for each one of these projects, I'll be putting in 200 stitches, at least. The next project is less than 10 colors. And my less than 10 colors is, I hope I didn't throw it back in that basket. I did. It is Love and Joy by October House, by October Fiber Arts. October House Fiber Arts. I know I just showed it to you. Okay, so I just showed it to you. Aha. And I didn't have a picture of it to share with you. But here, the chart front. But here is where it's going to start out at. That's less than 10 colors. My, the next category is Has No Black. And for that, I will be working on Dr. Maya Angelou. It is also Women's History Month. Women's History Month or Women's Health Month? History, Health, one of those. So I'll be working on this. And here is where she is at now. So I have a long way to go on this, but I'm going to get it done. Get her done, get her done. I may not get her done this year, but I'm going to put some work into it. And then for Scenic, I am going to be working on City Sidewalks by Glendon Place, which is also, I just shared with you, and is also on my Year of Whips. Okay, that needs to go up there. Okay, so those are my whipagories that I'll be doing. The next category is my Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group, which I'm going to really work hard in getting back into the groove of posting in the group. But the first, so the theme is crystal, and the chart that I've chosen for crystal is Peabody, which is on my Year of Whips, and I'm choosing that because water turns, when water turns to ice, it makes crystals. So that's what I'm going with for that. It is by Heart and Hand. I just showed it to you not too long ago. I thought I kept it out, but I must have didn't. Sorry for bending out of the frame. Put that there. So Peabody will be coming back out for the theme crystal. For the acrostic, which is sparkle, I'll be pulling back out again to work on it for a couple of more days. Seasons of Color Winter, which is by Carolyn Manning. That's for the S. The P is Petite Coussin, which is the chart that I picked up in Hobby House when we visited there in September of last year. And that's what this looks like. And if you recall, I'm stitching this pillow. For the letter A, I am going with Artist Formerly Known As, and that will be Purple Rain. For the R in Sparkle, I will be pulling out, I started this on my friend Carolyn Zook's birthday for her birthday start. And so I will be pulling out Rosewood Manor, Blue Rhapsody in purple. And putting some work into that for her birthday month. And here's where mine is right now. I'm working on this chart and using two different purple flosses. One Silks for You and one Vicky Clayton Silk. Okay, the next one I'll be working on is, I just shared it with you, is the Sunflower Fairy, and that is for the K, and because I am working with Krynic. I have not come up with the letter L yet for Sparkle, but I'll let you know as soon as I do. And then for the letter E in Sparkle, I am going to be stitching on Daisies, which you just saw by Fat Quarter Shop and It's So Emma. And then I will, not once all those are done, but I'm also going to be working on putting 1,000 stitches in on Put a Bird on It. And I will potentially have 3 or 4 new starts mixed in there somewhere. So I am back to the planning and back to the getting the things done and all of that. It has been, these last 5 months have been an amazing journey. ups and downs, but I am grateful to all of you. I got skin. I am grateful that you all are sticking in there with me. I hope that you all are doing well. If they're, I know that we are in hard times right now. It has not gone. I have not put my head in the sand. I do know that these are terrible times right now. There's so much going on. But I hope that you all take care of yourselves, seek out any help that you might need, whether it be mental, physical, or spiritual. Do what you can to take care of yourselves, because this too shall pass. I just keep thinking that to myself, that this too shall pass, and we will be able to look back over it and wonder what in the world happened. So with that, I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to say to you, have a very good rest of your day. I will be back soon, and take care. Goodbye, everybody.
There we go. Hi, Candy.
Hi, Miss Shelia.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's been a little while since I've been on Zoom or Flosstube, but I'm hanging in there, and things will start getting better. We
You
had our
look good.
service yesterday, and so
Oh, good. Good. Important, critical milestone.
yeah. So
And you look good.
Thank you. You
You
do
got a
too.
smile.
Yes,
All things are good.
yes, it is. All things are great.
So we're here today. And so just to y'all let you know, I'm by myself because it's 10 o'clock, after 10 o'clock. And so we're on EJ time for filming our video. So there may be a door ringing and stuff happening in the middle of our recording, but we will handle it. So we're here today because when we were on our Alaska cruise, I was in our last day, well, towards the end of the cruise, Candy said, I'm enjoying this. This is my second cruise. I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying meeting new people. I'm enjoying seeing new places and doing new things. Where's our next cruise? I'm sitting there stitching and I'm like, I don't know. So as a group, we started to talk and we decided that we wanted to go to Europe. We planned a cruise for Europe. It's called Kandays' Mediterranean Adventure.
Yes, it is. Um, I'm very excited because as myself, I never thought that I would have these experiences. And so to be able to go to Europe is super exciting for me, because I never, as a little girl, you never think about, oh, one day. And then when you go through life and you have all your challenges, raising family and all of that, I'll never do that. But now I'm in that season of life where I can have some new experiences, and I am grateful to you for dragging me and bringing me along on all of the exciting cruise. I have been telling and sharing with all of my friends and family that cruising is the best way to vacation, and so I'm
Yes.
super excited about this.
Yes, it's the way that I've been able to see so much of the world is through cruising, and it's a mode of transportation that gets me to multiple places in one trip, and I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. If there's a place that I want to go and spend time, I'll make those plans to go and spend more
Yes,
time someday. Much of that hasn't happened because I just enjoy the variety, the ease of the experience.
yes,
So I guess you're wondering what we're really talking about. So we're talking about Kandays' Mediterranean Adventure, which will be, and I've got my notes right here,
yep.
June 18th, 2026, on the Norwegian Getaway. No, the Epic. The Epic. I'm getting my cruises confused. On the Norwegian Epic. We're leaving from Rome, Italy, on the 20 21st. I'm sorry, let me back up. The cruise, the 7-day cruise is June 21st to June 28th
Correct.
or the 29th. I'll see as we get down. We're going in a couple of days early so that
Right.
we can do sightseeing in Rome, which
Correct.
is why my dates in my trip planner are a little
A little different.
longer
Yeah.
than the actual cruise. So the cruise itself is on the Norwegian Epic, leaving Rome on Sunday, June 21st. If you've never been to Rome, if you've been to Rome and wanted to go back, we're planning to go in a couple of days early and we're going to do the mad sightseeing tour. We're going to see all of the things and do all of the
Quickly.
things. Yeah, very quickly. When we leave Rome, we're going to go to the Amalfi Coast, which is Salerno, Italy. We're then going to go to Messina, Italy. We're going to then we have couple a sea there's a sea day in between the Amalfi Coast and Messina, which is great because that's a stitching day for us.
Yes. And we get a lot
On
of stitching done on stitching on sea days. So,
Yes, exactly. On yeah, you know who's
hey,
here.
Joe.
On did I say Messina, Italy?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
On Thursday, we are going to be in Livorno. Now, Livorno is the port to visit Pisa, where the Leaning Tower is, and Florence, Italy. Florence, Italy, I think, is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. The artwork, the architecture, it's just a beautiful city. From there, we go to France. The ship will stop in Nice, Monaco. It actually stops in Villefranche, which gives you access to Nice or Monaco, if you want to go to Monaco, which is also a great stop. Both are beautiful. I love Nice flower market. If we're there on the day of the market, it's small, but just so pretty. And then from there, we go to Provence, Marseille, France. And then we go into Barcelona on the 28th of June. Now, a couple of us are going to stay on in Barcelona for another day to do some good fast sightseeing in Barcelona before coming back. So that's Kandy's Mediterranean adventure. So in 7 days, we're going to be in Italy uh, and France. And it's so exciting. And they're beautiful cities, historical cities. Um, yeah.
I've already heard that it'll be nice and warm, and
Yes.
I will pack for warm weather. And
Yes, it will be it will be warm.
I am very, very, very excited. I just found out yesterday that one of my cousins is moving to Spain. So I might
Ooh.
actually stay over another day so that I
Oh,
can visit him in
nice.
Spain. Yes.
Oh,
He'll be over
fabulous.
there. He's in the military and he'll be there for 2 years. And
Uh-huh.
so it would be a great way for me to continue on. He didn't tell me what part, but anyway,
That's okay. You're gonna make it work.
yeah, I'm gonna make it work. So I
All
am
right.
super,
So,
super excited. And we already have some of our friends that have signed up to go with us. Janet Jabber will
mm-hmm,
be rooming with me, so she will be on the cruise.
mm-hmm,
And a lot of the ladies, about five of them that were with us on the Alaskan cruise,
mm-hmm.
have decided to come on and join us on the Mediterranean cruise. And so I am so excited.
And
Um,
we picked summer for especially because EJ is gonna go. She's very
yep.
excited about it. So it's gonna be a fun time. So how can you join us? Well, so first, this is another no frills cruise experience. Shelia does not plan anything. I make arrangements to see for us to have a place to stitch on a sea day. and evenings. But this is the kind of trip that almost every day we're going to be out doing things up and out, up and out. I doubt that there's going to be a lot of nighttime stitching or even late, certainly late night stitching, because we'll be up at 7:30 in the morning, if not earlier, just to set expectations. This is not a deep stitching cruise. This is
Yes,
truly
that is correct.
adventure with stitching on the side.
Yes. Right now, it's all about the experiences for me. And so, um, while I will have my stitching with me, it won't be like, oh, I got to get this amount done. And like, there
Yeah,
will be no goal stitching
that's right. That's right. It's not,
during that week.
that's right. It's not a retreat. So, having said that, so you pick your cabin, take advantage of the Norwegian Cruise Line promotions at the time. These cruises do fill up. So if you are interested, you do want to make your plans as soon as possible. You can put a deposit down on the cabin. I strongly recommend you go to the Norwegian Cruise Line website, that's ncl.com, and look up the Epic for Mediterranean cruises, and look at the June 21st sailing. You can look at the ship, get a feel for the ship, the layout, the cabins. Talk to your friends, your partners, your spouses, to see if they want to go. But if you want to travel solo, Norwegian has a class of cabins called studio cabins, which Candy won't be in this time, but I will be, because
But if Janet and I were not rooming together, I would totally, because I have done that twice now with the studio
yes,
cabins, and they are fantastic.
absolutely
It is
wonderful.
fantastic.
They are small. They're about a little under 100 square feet. They're incredibly efficiently laid out.
Yes,
They have access to a private lounge area where there's always beverages. There's pastries in the morning with juices. There's an espresso coffee machine.
yep.
It's amazing. It's an amazing space. Um, so how do you reserve? So back up. So if you are interested in cruising alone, you don't not compelled to have someone go with you, you can reserve a studio cabin. So if you are interested in um, Candy's Mediterranean Adventure, in the description box below, um, both in Candy's video and the Sunshine Stitchers videos, we will print the information to contact Lisa Mendez, the NCL cruise consultant that I work with. And they're going to have the number that you should use, the reservation number that you should use there, and she will work with you. There's no additional discount on the cabins. That's why I say take advantage of promotions as they appear over time. There are payment plans so that you're not compelled to pay all of it at one time. It's just a deposit to secure your cabin
Yes.
today.
Yes, and with that being said, though, you are responsible for your own air flight, your
Mm-hmm.
airfare, you're
Mm-hmm.
making your flight reservations to get you from the United
Mm-hmm.
States over to Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So, although Norwegian will help you with that,
Mm-hmm.
we are not
We're
planning
not doing
any
that.
of that.
No.
Let's just make that plain and clear. We
Yes,
are not
yes,
planning any
yes.
of that. So you will be on your own to make your own
Mm-hmm.
flight reservations
Mm-hmm.
to get you from the United States over to Rome. So
That's correct. Now, Norwegian does offer air and port transfer options.
yes,
And so when you talk to Lisa, you can talk to her about air, booking air through Norwegian. They purchase in bulk. So it'll be economy. and the price is usually less than what you would pay on your own. So talk to them about it, see what they have available.
However, if you are planning to go in a couple of days ahead of time, like we
Mm-hmm.
are,
Mm-hmm.
you will probably discuss that. Make sure you discuss that with them, because
Yes,
they have a different option for
exactly.
coming in earlier. So make sure that you mention that to her.
Exactly, exactly. So you'll be hearing more about this from both of us
Yes,
as time goes on. Remember, the cruise leaves June 21st, 2026.
yes.
It's Kanday's Mediterranean Adventure on the Norwegian Epic. Yay!
We hope to see you there.
Okay, I'm trying to stop recording. Oh, come on, phone.
Technology at its best.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm ending.